Good morning, good morning. Yes, today is September 26th, 2015, and it's almost 11 a.m. I already went out to walk my dogs, and I just had my breakfast, and now I'm preparing breakfast for my little ones here. But yeah, I want to share this now before I forget. You know, I just started thinking of something. I was just noticing something. I was just watching a YouTube program. This individual had out-of-body experience, and they had visited the Akashic records. And I just started thinking with the Akashic records. Now, what if, like, you ever hear of people in those the loony house, crazy house, everybody thinks that they were Napoleon or something like that. Then I started thinking, okay, with this, new awareness about that we are spirit beings, and this body is just a vehicle, and that your mind, your consciousness continues on and could at times reincarnate into another person or whatever. I started thinking, I think another person, what's his name? I forget his name now, but people know him as the guy that talks about the reptilians and things like that. And he has a lot of books, and he discusses about reality. But anyway, I was just thinking with this whole thing about reality, and why some people might think that they were a particular person. You got 100 people who say that they were that person. With this, his name is David Icke. David, everybody, who knows about this, consciousness movement and spirituality, you've all heard of him. And I have several of his books. And he made a mention. He said in one of his books, like life is a hologram, and imagine like a DVD player. You have the beginning and the end of it, and you have people. So everything is, So your past is your present is your past, and in the future as well. So what if that thing is playing, that DVD, let's say, and if your spirit body is able to travel in what we call time, then you have a choice of, any part of that DVD, that CD player, that CD, whether it's in the middle or the end of the DVD or the CD, it has a different story. Okay? Now let's say you jump into a particular part of that DVD, and it's a character, and anybody could have access to that DVD or that CD and become that character. So the body is, because they're saying that our body itself is a hologram. It's all energy. It's not even solid. It's all an illusion, as they say. So, let's say someone has an opportunity to go into that DVD or that hologram, whatever you want to call it, and take that body as a host. Live the life, whatever, of that journey, and then they die, and, and then maybe another spirit comes around who's looking to get into the hologram game and play the same character. So it's just because I was wondering, how could so many people think and say that they were this well-known, this famous person or whatever. So I'm wondering whether that's what's actually going on in this game called life, And to explain, what is this thing about reincarnation? How is that, you have people who say that they passed on. And you have people's relatives who have passed on, and then they get a visitation. They might have, the person that's still alive visited them in the astral plane, and they saw deceased loved ones and even pets. So I said, wow. So what is all this? And how come they're staying there? How come they didn't go in another body? So what's really going on? I don't have the answer at all. But I'm asking these questions because I want to start thinking now out of the box and try to find answers. And then another thing I want to share with you, when I was walking my dogs today, and then right here, if you hear them start to bark, if you hear them bark, whatever, that's what's happening. They're right there, and yeah, they're hungry. So please forgive me if they make a lot of noise. They might stay quiet because now I'm going to feed them. Okay, just a moment. Here's your food. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, get another one. Okay, come here. Now get the food. Okay. My apologies. I had to just give you the food real quick. So if you hear them chomping on food, that's what's happening right now. So what happened today when I was walking my dogs, I was at walking past a construction site, and an older man, who working at the site, I think he might have been the foreman or something like that, and he says, "Oh boy, you can handle 3 dogs?" In a playful way he was saying, and I said, "Yeah, they're all mine." And he says, "Yeah, come over here." So we just started talking. He says, "Hey, I want to tell you something that happened to me." He was telling me that, well, the reason why he called me over, it was more like for a warning. He wanted me to be safe because he had gotten attacked by a pit bull. He shared with me that his wife had passed away, and he had a son that also passed away. And he's minding his son, his deceased son's dog. He has like a little Shih Tzu, and I have a Shih Tzu. So he said that one day he was walking, and a pit bull attacked his little dog, bit the stomach, and I guess the man is trying to save his dog, and then the pit bull clamped down on his arm, and he said that the jaws of the dog locked, and the mouth of the dog crushed his arm, and even the bones of his arm, that his arm almost came off. And he said, "Look, my name is," he gave me his name, and he said, you can Google his name, and you'll see about the different attacks that happen in Queens, New York, these dog attacks, and I want you to be careful of your dogs. And then we just started talking other things, and he asked me the name of my dog, and he was really fascinated that my dog's name is the name of he asked me for my name after he gave me his full name, and I have a flower name, and he was just fascinated. He said, "Hey," and he was calling his buddy over. He had another buddy, working, on this machine, and so he eventually comes over and says, "Look, tell him your name." And I told him my name, and that my pet's name, because I also gave him my dog's name. And that's what it did. That's when he said, "You got to talk to my friend," he said. And, well, his friend was from Ireland. And the man who called me over, he's an Irish man too, but I think he lived here for a long time. And he's living in Queens too. I'm from Queens. And turns out this man, that he called over, the guy, when he was living in Ireland, he lived on a farm, and the friend was saying, oh, he loves animals, and he was raised and lived on a farm. So he wanted to share that with his friend, and that's why he told the friend to come over. They were very nice to me, not the so-called typical construction workers. They're workers, they're laborers, and they're working at a construction site. They were very polite and nice to me. And when the man said, sometimes it was a little hard to understand what he was saying, because it was a little noisy at the scene, and the man had an Irish accent, and so sometimes it could be a little challenging if you're not really listening carefully. So I said, I said, when I heard that he's from Ireland, I said, have you ever heard of Cork? The town of Cork? He said, yeah, that's where I'm from. I said, oh my goodness. I said to him, I said, I may not look it, I don't look it. You would not believe this, but my oldest known ancestor was a married couple from Cork, Ireland. That's in Southern Ireland. And I was just amazed. I said, wow, you really from? He said, yeah, I was born and raised there. And I said, wow. And then the other man that talked to me first was saying that, it's a small world, and here you're meeting people, and maybe we may not look like one another, but our ancestry may have something in common, and he said, the last thing he said was, God has no color. God is not a color, and we will have to get along. And I pretty much shared the same thing. I said, the devil is a liar. The devil likes to lie. And he says, hey, did you hear that so and so? And maybe they were talking about the devil earlier, and that it's a liar. So it was a very positive experience for me, that here I was talking to two people, and that just because, I guess my main message with this part of the video is that, with all this, things in the media about racism, the so-called race wars that people are trying to initiate in the U.S., it's garbage. We don't need all this racism, people attacking one another, like something might happen to so-and-so, and then someone retaliate and kill or hurt an innocent person who's not involved in that drama, whatever, a tit for tat, as they call it. We have to stop it. The devil is a liar, and is here to try to instigate fights and turmoil within groups. I'm learning that, I just needed to hear that, because growing up, I did have experiences from people with that heritage from Ireland, and it's before I ever knew about my ancestry. I just found out about this part of my ancestry just last year, 2014. So it's ironic that your so-called worst enemy could be a relative, could be someone from maybe a town where your ancestor was from, So it's really something. And I needed to hear this because it's all about understanding. It's all about forgiveness. And it's all about spiritual growth, and to leave behind those traumas that had locked us in the past. Okay, quiet. So that's all I really wanted to share this morning. I just wanted to put it down out there, before I forget, because I feel that life is really trying to show me certain things, and it's very important to me on this spirit journey. So I thank you again for watching. please tell your friends and family. You can share this video with them, and you can even comment below if you want to add information or insights regarding this video, or your experiences with regard to different racial or ethnic groups, and how you want to overcome, or you have overcome certain obstacles with others. And feel free to subscribe, and as I say, to give me the thumbs up. So peace to you guys. Bye bye.